After exploring new IPs like The Rise of Ronin and finally releasing a new entry in Ninja Gaiden, Team Ninja and Koei have finally returned to their Souls-like IP, which for what looks like could be an explosive new entry. Set after the events of Nioh 1 and 2, the third game looks to further improve on the Nioh IP in fantastic new ways. From the very beginning of this demo, you could tell that they have been using this time to absolutely cook in a new entry. They were out in the cookout, going through, out here just frying up them burgers, throwing on that seasoning, because you could tell all of the good shit was happening in that studio. Back in June of 2025, I had the privilege of being able to play the alpha demo of this game, and you could definitely tell that they have been spending the last little while improving on the things that people have been talking about and releasing. Because I remember when I was playing against the alpha demo, I raged. I hated it. Every bit of the game was hard. It was demanding. I couldn't beat it. So going into this, I definitely had a lot less things that I thought was going to happen. But I could definitely say I was pleasantly surprised with how much better it was. The boss fights felt challenging, but they were fair. And you definitely could tell that they were. You didn't feel that level of despair that you would feel not being able to do it. You did very little damage. It just wasn't something that you thought you could do. But this one, it was like, okay, yeah, I failed, but I got it. I could do it. I mean, obviously there were points where I was cocky and I was like, you know what? Maybe not. But it was not as bad as you thought it would be. And I definitely think that they improved on the difficulty. Now, other than that, the mini bosses and just the enemies around the map, they didn't feel nearly as bad as the boss fights. I think I beat them in like 2 or 3 tries at most. You definitely could forget that it was a Souls-like with how decent the difficulty was in terms of the game. And you could definitely get killed if you were being cocky, but overall you could pretty much breeze through it if you were not really cocky too much. Now, this game provides 2 separate types of combat styles, with samurai and with ninja, both of which come with their own skill trees, which, in my opinion, the skill trees are a little bit confusing in terms of this game, but I gotta say, they are definitely essential for beating the game. There's a lot of things you really want to take a look at with the skill trees, so you definitely want to make sure that you look over them and unlock things that you want for your playthrough. Now, throughout the game, you get these abilities called Guardian Spirits, which you can pick up progressing through the game, each of which have their own set of abilities, which when activated, you could transform into like a special god mode that does increased damage and less defense. And I love this aspect in the game because it allows you to clutch up in the end for certain parts that you think you're not going to beat. So if you get to like 25% of the boss fight is left and you're out of heals, you're out of items, you're out of this, you're out of that, you can activate it and it's like a clutch mode. I've done so much where I breeze the end because of that. Like it's such an OP mode, and I'm so extremely excited that that is a thing in this game. Now, I gotta say, one of the biggest improvements in this game compared to the others and the entries is the map and how they handle objectives. Now, with most Souls games, as you guys know, they usually don't tell you where to go, what you need to do next. This is the main story, you need to go do this. Usually, they just tell you to go. They don't tell you anything. They just tell you to go. You gotta pretty much wander around until you find where you need to go. Luckily, in this game, the objectives are shown on the map, so you can tell where you need to go, and any side quests, items, materials, anything that you want to find are highlighted on the map, so you just literally have to mark it and then go. Obviously, there's some people out there that don't want that. Luckily, they did include this, where you can turn that off in the settings, so if you want that Souls-like area, you could just turn it off and go and have your fun. Or for people like me who don't want to wander around for 50 hours trying to find out where to go, you can just turn it back on and you're good to go. Exploration is well rewarded in this game, where you can find mini bosses, items, power-ups, which you will be sensualized in order to be able to beat the game. You want to explore, you want to learn more, you want to be able to beat the bosses with less difficulty. Obviously, if you want the added challenge, you could just go immediately to the end, which is very, very cool. There's also a ton of weapon variety in this game, absolutely a lot. You can go for your swords, you can go for your dual swords, your axes, your spears, your fucking double batons. Like, there is so much that you can do in this game that they just allow you to. There's like liberty, no limits of any type of stuff that you can do in order to play the game. So there's definitely a lot of different ways you can tackle the challenges in the game. Now, in terms of the story, compared to the other versions of the game, Nioh 1 and 2, the story definitely exists. It doesn't take a back seat like the other games. It's an interesting story. I actually had a lot of fun paying attention, learning from the characters, and actually paying attention to what was going on. And there's definitely going to be a lot of twists and turns. I was actually shocked by how many plot twists there were. The voice acting is alright, which obviously is a Team Ninja game. They're more based off their combat, their exploration, the challenge, compared to the voice acting. Obviously, they have good voice acting sometimes, but this is more on par with like Rise of the Ronin, which wasn't really known for the voice acting, but the game is just amazing overall. And that is definitely the main prize of the game, is those elements. Overall, I spent about 9 hours on the demo, which you could easily spend a lot more, and I gotta give them props to Team Ninja. This game, they did not need to give us so many hours on this demo. I'm absolutely fucking appalled that we got this much content, but props to them. You don't really see stuff like this every day anymore, or the stuff that transfers over to the full release. So it is a lot of fun that you get to play it and then transfer over. So if you like Souls-likes, Nioh, Team Ninja, if these are the kind of games that you like, you definitely got to pick up Nioh 3 on release. The game releases February 6th of this year. Like I said, the demo is out, and if you play it by February 12th, you get a item for completion of the demo. And like I said before, the demo moves over to the full release. So if you are on the fence, which I was, you got to jump on it. It's a lot of fun. You'll love it. It's so much fun. I can't believe I have to wait to play it. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I cannot wait to get my hands on the game eventually. If you enjoyed this review and you want to watch more like it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We try to release many more reviews in the future. Let me know if there's any games that you guys want me to review in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video.